Hey guys, it's Steven from the Green Engineers and welcome to my 11 1/4 minute update video. Today is, I believe it was the 15th, yep, May the 15th. Sorry, it's been a little bit over a month, I think, since my last update. So I'm going to again try to keep it to a month. A lot of stuff to talk about today, so let's go ahead and get into the 11 1/4 minute update. I have put on my motor here and I did run some plastic. And if you can see down there, I have chopped some white, clear plastic. It was part of this COVID face mask I was printing. And you can see that it is indeed cutting. But what I did is for whatever reason, it was 1:30 in the morning when I got this guy to work. So I free spinned it. I checked to make sure it free spin, which it did. Then I put it under power and it rotated fine. Okay, I put in one piece of plastic, it chewed it up, and that's the plastic you see down here. Which as you can see is in decent sized chunks. I'd probably feed that in one more time, but decent sized chunks indeed. So motor works, and then what happened is, for whatever reason, again 1:30 in the morning, I decided to throw, like, okay, it did one piece, let's throw like 6 pieces in there under one blade. And then it stalled the motor out, because this is actually for a high feed. So this is for a high speed, not high torque. As you see, this is bigger than this gear, so that means that this is going to rotate faster than this. This is a 17 RPM motor with an 80 step down. This is the 200 watt. This is the bigger guy. There's a smaller guy. There's a 120 watt. So this is the 200 watt, capable of 100 foot-pounds or 127 newton meters. That guy is 80 foot-pounds and then like 100 and something newton meters. So this is the big guy, and I put it on here, and basically what happened when it stalled out, it ripped it had a little tooth in here, and this is a 1/4 inch plate. It ripped the tooth right off, and it just sheared this right off with the keyway and sheared it right out. So I'm going to work with my CNC guy and my buddy that helps me make this stuff, and we will remake something here that bolts onto this guy. So we'll just redo this. It'll bolt onto this guy and then go all the way through the keyway on both sides and fully adapt. Here we're going to have to make some adjustments. Pretty cool how I made that. You see the welds. I actually 3D printed a piece that would hold it in there on the plate while I welded it and held it straight up. And then I welded it, and you can see it basically got stuck on there. And then now I throw it away at 20% infill. A couple hours, came back from work, welded it, worked great. So now I have this motor, so I'm just going to fix this, and then we'll be rocking and rolling. Also, if you notice the light, I'm not going to look exactly perfectly up there, but I have a 4-piece grid on the ceiling now of LEDs. And so those are 110 watt LEDs, and we have 4 in a grid of 8 feet. They're 8 feet strips, capable of 40,000 lumens or something, I can't remember. But it's very very high lumen, and it is sunlight, 50K, 50,000 Kelvin, whatever. So it's a standard sunlight bulbs. So as you can see, it looks like it's basically daytime in here all the time now. So it's going to be perfect for recording and doing some machine stuff and whatever. I have a strip over here to put power underneath the table to get to all my machines. I'm looking at getting a converter to convert that portable bandsaw into a horizontal bandsaw, as well as a vertical bandsaw. So I'll probably get a machine for that pretty soon. And then, so mainly working on this guy, and then working with Kevin, as you saw in the other video. Obviously COVID, so he's not coming over here anymore, but we're meeting every day. If he's not in school, he's still in school now, so if he's not doing a test or whatever, which his finals are this weekend, sorry, Monday, all of his finals are Monday, and so we're taking this weekend off, and then we'll basically be going into summer, meeting every day online, and then eventually when COVID stops and the state of California says that, hey, you get back together, we get back together. And that is because his mom suffers from cancer, and so she's going to have a low immune system, and we don't want to get her exposed to whatever's here. And then also I have my niece Ava here, so I'm not really having much people over besides people that we know. So what are we working on? Me and Kevin remote. We have the model for the multi-extruder made and finished. As you can see here, a couple of changes, but most of the stuff is original. And so here is the model of the multi-extruder, And so we are getting ready to open source that. That guy needs a little bit more testing, and then we'll open source it. Or we'll probably work on open sourcing, and then it'll be like a beta, and then we'll do some testing and some improvements, and then go on from there. Then we have the shredder. So we have the stand. Go ahead and zoom in here. We have the stand, and this is using the small motor, not the big motor, because eventually I would like to try to run it off that small motor, and then this would be an option. You can see small motor with a guard, and this is the high-speed one. So this gear works for both this motor and this motor, and it's a high-speed option for high feed, but it's for like water bottles and other thinner plastics. Then we have, in this case, a 3D printed hopper, right? But yeah, so we have the stand. We need the electronics for the interlocks for safety. So we need to put some either here or on the back. It's probably going to be on the back. So those electronics are going to be on the back or on the side. Well, I'll have to see what we're going to do. But it'll either go here, here. Let me zoom in. Either go here on the back, just like the back here, or on the side here, right? Side here on those two bolt holes. And those will have two finger presses, so you press two fingers. You press both your hands simultaneously and hold them down, and both fingers have to be touching onto some contacts, some capacitive contacts, and then the motor will start. And then it will have overcurrent protection. It'll be looking at the current of this motor. If the current goes over the certain rating, it will reverse for a certain amount of time, and then stop, and then continue rotating, as long as you have your fingers on. Once you take your fingers off, it'll stop. Right? So yeah, there's the stand, just tall enough to put a bucket underneath, and it'll hold it above the floor. You don't have to bolt it down, don't have to do nothing. You can bolt it down. There will be areas on the feet to bolt it down to the floor. As you can see there, you can see it's got some bolt holes, but I guess you could just trust me. It's got some bolt holes to bolt it down to the floor, and it has some bolt holes to bolt it up here at the top. A couple more refinements needed, but for the most part, this is pretty finalized. So we have the shredder pretty much done, electronics needed, but obviously I'm going to run it here manually for testing. We're going to do a little bit more, a couple different gear arrangements. So we're going to put a bigger gear here and a smaller gear here for a higher torque. So we'll go from here over to here, or we'll push this in and it'll just go over the top. And then we'll do some testing of the shroud that goes over this guy, and then the hopper, and then the stand, of course. And then the horizontal bandsaw would be great for the stand. If not, my CNC buddy has a bandsaw, and we'll exchange for something. So what else am I doing? I have some doing some carbon fiber PLA for a friend. I'm borrowing my buddy's Ender 3 for some testing, and that's what I was running carbon fiber on. It was running in the garage. This is obviously the garage, and it got cold last night, and so it caused it to fail, caused it to get really not very stuck here at the top. So if you can, and you're going to run in a cold area, even with 70°C on the bed, go ahead and put a box over it. Next thing is this nice, I really like this magnetic bed. So I actually found one for the Tronxy. So this is my Tronxy X5SA. This is my big printer, 13 by 13 by 15. It's going to be doing most of the stuff for the second version of the extruder, the Fill Factory. So this guy's going to do a lot of my printing, so I'm doing a whole bunch of upgrades on this guy. I have a Capricorn. I'm going to upgrade to a all-metal hot end, most likely. I got some spring clips here for the belts. Upgraded the motor mounts to aluminum. I'm going to change this to probably a Titan extruder pretty soon, and then add the Bondtech gears onto it, onto the Titan extruder. So it'll be geared end, so basically it's going to be a Bondtech extruder pretty much. Probably add Wi-Fi. I want to add the Trimix steppers. And then I also bought, with this, I also bought a glass bed. The Ultra Base was originally Anycubic, and so that one has a pores, and it lets the plastic go eventually once it cools down. So you heat it up, and then it expands, and when it cools down, the pores shrink, and it pops it off. So I'm going to try, I got a whole bunch of things going on with the printer, a whole bunch of things coming. So let's go ahead and talk about this cool thing that we are going to be integrating into all our projects. So with that particular CNC buddy, I'm working on a project with him. So here is a, this is called a Nextion HMI, which is a human-machine interface. And so basically this is a screen that you could use for Raspberry Pi and Arduino, and what it has is it has a cool editor where you don't have to do anything in the programming on the Arduino side, which I'm used to doing the programming on the Arduino side for the multi-shooter project. But this one you have an editor where you can do all the editing online, and then you could publish to this. And then you just talk to the screen using using a TTL line, so just TXRX. And it has a simple setup to just be able to do just ASCII, just be able to send ASCII to it. So let me go ahead and plug it in before we run out of time here. And for example, here is the interface that we're running for right now. And so you could see I did all this programming here. We have a size. This is for actually an automatic bandsaw. So this will run a stepper motor and some sensors and start-stop, all that kind of stuff. And it will drive, and it'll basically turn a semi-automatic bandsaw into a fully automatic bandsaw. So we're going to be integrating something like this into the, possibly not in the, most likely not in the multi-shooter, but in the version 2 of the Philip Factory, and also maybe the printer. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the EcoBase 3D printer. But very cool and available in a lot of different sizes, and has 3 options. Has the basic, the enhanced, and the intelligent series. This particular one's the intelligent series. So, and a lot of different screen sizes. So a lot of different options. Alright, so I will see you guys in the next update video. That is it for us here, and I will see you guys in the next one, which will hopefully be sooner than 1 month, but at most 1 month from now. So stay safe out there, guys, with the COVID, and hopefully I see you guys next month when this is all over. We'll see. Alright, so stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.